This is the research overview for August 13th, 2026. It is AI-generated, based on a partial daily collection, and requires human review before anyone relies on it. 27 paper analyses are included. The dominant theme is agent systems that operate over long periods. They preserve state, build external skills, revise persistent artifacts, and face failures that may emerge many actions after the original mistake.
The clearest safety result comes from OpenArt, which attacks the environment around an agent instead of changing only its instructions. Under one model and a matched budget, full environment evolution reached a strict attack success rate of 94.7%, compared with 81.6% for instruction-only attacks. Across 10,000 converted trajectories, unsafe output appeared a median of 37 actions after propagation began. That is, measured benchmark evidence, although the strict score partly depends on a model judge and has not been validated in production.
That delayed failure pattern also appears, in a different domain, in interactive storytelling. The strongest tested narrator preserved only 42% of 100 environments through 20 adversarial turns. Across all 600 runs, just 3.5% reached the 100-turn limit without an explicit conflict, and most of those still missed required commitments. The connection is editorial, not historical. Both studies test whether fixed obligations survive changes accumulating through a long-running environment.
A runtime contract paper proposes turning safety into preventive checks, plus deterministic evidence gates. Its authors retrospectively judged 40 of 52 documented incidents fully preventable and 11 partly mitigable. But that is a counterfactual audit, not a deployed intervention. A concrete next test would run model-only, preventive-only, evidence-only, and combined controls against the same persistent state attacks, while measuring unsafe acceptance, benign completion, delay, and verifier failure.
Another major pattern is putting executable structure around a fixed model. In a text-only theory of mind study, the weaker target's macro accuracy rose from 0.488 without scaffolding to a best result of 0.912 with an automatically built harness. The mean across 57 target runs was 0.763. A separate logical reasoning system scored atomic statements independently and enforced the answer option's Boolean structure, lifting macro F1 from 48.3 to 77.0 on one benchmark.
Those numbers support a useful design principle. Let the language model handle uncertain semantic judgments, while code handles routing, formatting, or exact composition. They do not show a universal increase in reasoning ability. Both settings are narrow and structured. The logical method used one 8 billion parameter model, and some harnesses harmed an already stronger target. The open question is whether the gains survive matched budgets in coding, mathematics, embodied work, and open-ended planning, with each scaffold component separately ablated.
Persistent artifacts also organize autonomous research. Spark-to-Paper coordinates 13 skills from planning through experiments and manuscript assembly. On 36 deliberately seeded fabrication probes, detection increased from 14% in a single pass to 92% with gates, self-review, and adversarial review. Full runs averaged 11.9 million tokens, about $8, and 3.2 hours per manuscript. Strong artifact integrity is measured here, but scientific correctness and novelty were not directly established, and only 8 full topics were studied.
Mechanist, automated world model research, and recursive software evolution share an editorially identified workflow: propose, execute, verify, revise, and retain accepted artifacts. Mechanist received human reproduction scores between 83.3 and 92.2% across 4 evaluation dimensions on 16 reproductions, though some reporting is incomplete and one model description is inconsistent. In the World Model Benchmark, agents beat their session-specific starters in 63 of 64 sessions, with the largest average gains at 10 and 20-step horizons. That does not yet imply better planning or control.
The software system provides a tangible but bounded demonstration. Its generated compiler passed all 220 tests in one suite and all 93 executed randomized programs, while 7 seeds were skipped. It also passed 32 of 36 LLVM tests. That is substantial formation, not complete language conformance or production readiness. Across these research systems, the unresolved causal question is whether persistence and revision truly drive the gains, or whether extra compute, selection, and repeated attempts explain most of them.
Persistent spatial memory appears in creative and robotic systems too. Stateflow maintains editable object-centered three-dimensional scenes and uses rendered feedback to repair camera plans. Its best perceptual results came from only 12 prompts, without ground truth geometry. Atlas VLA combines world memory with task progress memory for wrist camera manipulation. It reached 69.5% on 4 real-world long-horizon tasks. Removing world or ego memory reduced that figure to 54.0 and 56.5%. Depth, calibration, and cross-robot robustness remain important boundaries.
Visual evidence itself needs causal auditing. One study corrupted crops returned to visual agents. Accuracy barely changed for one system, from 83.3 to 83.8%, but collapsed for 2 others, from 87.8 to 23.6, and from 91.1 to 30.4. This is not a simple ranking of model quality. It shows that systems differ in whether returned pixels causally affect later answers, while corruption may also alter subsequent tool choices. Evidence generation, evidence use, and acceptance enforcement should therefore be evaluated separately.
Efficiency claims also need careful boundaries. A reinforcement learning method improved a 6 benchmark math average from 42.99 to 44.04, with nearly matched floating point work, but required roughly 1.5 times the wall time. Ready cohorts raised the share of deadline-eligible events from 30.19 to 43% in an offline packing study, and separately showed a device-resident routing benefit. The 2 experiments were not combined, so they do not demonstrate end-to-end service acceleration.
Several narrower results are promising but constrained. A video world model resisted distribution shift far better than one comparator on simple simulated ball dynamics. A dereflection system led 2 of 3 highlighted image quality measures on 60 paired sequences, but not every metric. A hand visibility detector improved mean average precision from 0.897 to 0.931 using ground truth hand boxes. A quantization method gained up to 1.3 accuracy points on small models, while requiring hours of offline processing per model.
The source quality is uneven. This was a partial run. 12 papers lacked usable Hugging Face text, several numerical tables were missing or malformed, and Tool Hazard had only abstract-level evidence. Its security and utility improvements must therefore remain author claims without reproducible magnitudes. Automated judges also shape results in safety, business ideation, narrative auditing, and visual evaluation. Human validation, repeated seeds, matched compute, and independently specified outcome measures are recurring needs across the collection.
So the concise takeaway is that capability is increasingly moving from model weights into persistent state, executable harnesses, validation gates, and structured memory. The strongest measurements show large benchmark gains and reveal failures that short evaluations miss. The central uncertainty is whether those gains generalize beyond narrow tasks, automated judges, and controlled environments without unacceptable cost or regressions.
Future work should prospectively test runtime contracts, connect world model scores to downstream decisions, corrupt spatial memories in controlled ways, and build confidence gates that reject harmful adaptations. It should also compare original and compressed skills through execution traces, not structure alone. For the complete paper list, detailed caveats, evidence tables, and carefully qualified topic connections, follow the linked daily summary. And remember, This overview is a research aid, not a substitute for reading the underlying work and obtaining human review.